Hello and welcome to a first cast for the Recreational, or at least my first cast for the Recreational. It is already very far into the tournament. We are here with the lower bracket finals. It's going to be a best of 3. We're going to watch the Poutine King Bar face up against Venomancer. I hardly knew her. We're going to see if, for the second time in a row, Poutine King Bar can stop Venomancer's I hardly knew her. I'm going to call them Venomancer from now on. If they can stop their dream, because that is actually how they got in the lower bracket to begin with. We actually have Poutine King Bar. Wow, English is hard, guys. Poutine King Bar is playing from the Dire side. We're going to see them against Venomancer. I hardly knew her on the Radiant side. It's a best of 3. This is just game 1, so anything can still happen. And as said, Poutine King Bar is the team that beat Venomancer, I hardly knew her, down to the lower bracket a few rounds ago already. Now, the winner of this best of 3 will move on to the grand finals to face the Pit Lord meta. But before that happens, you know, we first have to see these games. Now, of course, we have some familiar faces in the game, which is why this is fun to watch, because we're seeing on the Radiant side, it is Pyrian Flax as well as Shane. And I've got, like, I think more people know more people. But personally, I know that Chris is from Nvidia, but the rest, I don't know the rest. So that's going to be interesting, because we're going to see how everybody does. And over the course of this best of 3, we'll get to know these players in and out and see what they can and cannot do. Now, I feel like Poutine King Bar has a bit of an edge, because they've just had an amazing run. They have actually 2-0'd every opponent they have come up against, apart from the one that they faced in the first round. So they've just 2-0'd, and then of course they did go to the lower bracket. They actually lost to the Pit Lord meta, which is the team that's waiting in the finals. They did lose 2-0, but at the same time, they just had a really great run. Venomancer, I hardly knew her, went 2-1 against a team that went 1-2 to Poutine King Bar. I don't know if that makes sense anymore. The tip jar will be here for the next game, by the way. Oh yeah, I can explain that. That's fine. Okay, so when the game actually starts, there's a tip jar. Don't be alarmed. You don't have to tip if you don't want to. It's just something that I do if I'm casting something that's not really official. And, you know, I like casting, and I still want that to be my main source of income together with hosting. Actually, lately, I'm liking hosting a lot as well. And I'm focusing a bit more on that. Enough about that. Let's take a look at the game. I'm getting off track. Jakiro and Ogre Magi. Now, hero-wise, we know that these are strong heroes. I take everything that you know from the tier 1 teams, by the way, and throw that out of the window, because that's not going to be applicable in these kind of games. We are in a game that has a bit lower MMR ranking than the games that you normally see. For example, with the DAC, it's a bit of a different caliber. So, but like, throw those ideas out of the window and look at the heroes that we have right here and think of the reasoning behind those heroes. So we know that these two teams know each other. That's point number 1. They faced each other before. They've probably watched each other's streams. And for example, if you watch Pyrian stream and you watch Shane stream, then you know the heroes that they like to play. You know that you don't want Shane on that. Holy crap! Hey guys, for the people that were here just now, before this game, we watched a live game, right? We watched a live game with Venomancer. I hardly knew her. They were playing in a team ranked game, or a ranked team game. They had this exact lineup. They had the Invoker, the Faceless Void, the Line, the Death Prophet, and I can't remember of which one else. I just can't, because I didn't watch that closely. But they just, Poutine King Bar just banned out that entire game that they just played, which is kind of funny. I just realized this. So that's the reasoning behind the bans there. So, you know, makes sense, I guess. Actually, they didn't have Invoker in that game, did they? No, Invoker was in that game. It was just banned. Was just on the other team. My bad. Oh well. Tidehunter banned out as well as Juggernaut. Now, Juggernaut, you don't want to deal with Juggernaut, because everybody knows this, actually. I don't need to explain this to you. We have a Silencer and a Zeus is also removed, some global heroes removed, and that makes me think that maybe Venomancer hardly knew her wants to go for a bit of a split push. Just reduce the global presence. Maybe not. We'll see. I'm just talking random things anyways. But back to where I started the sentence, which was Jakiro, Ogre Magi, and now Viper. These are heroes. I'm muted in Dota TV. Thank you, Sorana like. Let's do that before we continue to talk about the game, because I'm bad. Enable open microphone. Done. Hello, Dota TV. I'm very sorry. I had you muted. Not anymore. You're here now. But those are heroes that are just strong, solid. Jakiro is the hero that has one of the highest strength gains. So they go for sturdy, sustainable heroes. And that's a theme right now, because Viper has the same thing. They're just difficult to kill. They're difficult to gank. And one of the biggest things that you need to worry about in these kind of games, in this kind of tier, is staying alive throughout the fights. And these three heroes already are really good at staying alive, because that's one of their qualities. High strength game for Jakiro. Ogre Magi, naturally tanky hero as well. Viper, also very tanky and likes to build tanky heroes. And on top of that, if he does take damage, he does damage in return with the corrosive skin, so that's pretty cool too. We have a Witch Doctor and a Troll Warlord so far for the team. Venomancer, I hardly knew her. We have the synergy between the two. Not particularly there. I like Witch Doctor a lot. I like Troll Warlord a lot, and together with Phantom Assassin, that's even more scary, because that's gonna increase Phantom Assassin's attack speed by quite a large margin with the ultimate on there. So that's pretty scary. Now, with the Troll and the Phantom Assassin both picked up, one of them is going to be safe lane, which is most likely going to be the Phantom Assassin, leaving Troll for either a aggressive tri lane, depending on what they're expecting, or Troll to face up against the Viper. And the Troll against the Viper...
5 seconds remaining.
Well, Viper would win, or at least not lose. Let's put that. And not losing, again, that's what Putin Kingbar's lineup comes towards. They're not going to lose a lane so far. These are not heroes that are typical for losing a lane. Now, of course, everybody can outplay anything, but just purely based on picks. So far, Putin Kingbar's lanes look pretty solid. I mean, there's only 3 heroes picked so far. We're waiting for the 4th pick for Putin Kingbar. It's going to define their lanes a bit more. They go for a Puck. Puck is a hero that can go mid, can go off lane, can go even safe lane solo, and Ogre Magi and Jakiro could potentially go on aggressive tri lane as well. So leaving a lot open, and I love that. How are you gonna counter them? Oh, okay. You're gonna counter that by having an aggressive tri lane of your own, perhaps, in which case safe tri lane for Putin Kingbar, assuming that they're gonna deal with an aggressive tri lane, is actually really good, but Undying, not a hero that is fun to deal with. They have a slow with the Troll Warlord, they have a cask with the Witch Doctor, and with the Undying there as well, Tombstone, and you're not going to be able to run away from that, so we're going to see how that's going to pan out, and how the lanes are going to shape up, because that's really up in the air for both teams.
10 seconds remaining.
Which I really admire, by the way. That they can do that, as in leave so much open. With 4 heroes picked, you still don't know exactly what they're gonna do. Wraith King removed. Just a hero they don't want to face, a hero they know that Pyrion plays sometimes. Although I'm thinking that he is playing the Witch Doctor, actually. Weaver removed as well. It looks like Venomancer, I hardly know her, is actually a bit more confident in their picks, if you can call it that. They go through the picks fastest, so they have got still a minute and 10 seconds left in their bonus time, while there's only 8 seconds for Putin left. So Lycan picked off, and Magnus is there as well, so that will leave us with a possible aggressive tri lane. Maybe Troll on the safe lane, Phantom Assassin on the aggressive tri lane. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting, that's for sure. With the Lycan there as well, the pushing power for Putin Kingbar, or at least split pushing power, is there as well. And that means that if Venomancer, I hardly know her, is gonna start pushing, which they, and fighting mostly, maybe not even pushing, just fighting. If they're gonna start fighting, that means that it's gonna be, well, it's gonna be Lycan's terrain on the other side of the map, and they're gonna try to take towers down that way. And they have such a sturdy lineup that they can delay the fights long enough. Oh, my bad, I do have a button for this. Boom! Look at that. Yeah, they're gonna be awesome. Also, heads up, I have new commands for... Yes! For camera work. So my camera work should be really smooth or really awkward. One of the two. And right now it's just awkward. Okay. Let's take a look at who we are seeing here. There we go. We have got On the side of Poutine King Bar, we have Olive Juice playing the Ogre Magi. It will be the Viper played, but whoops, by Barichnikov. Barichnikov. There you go. We have the Mons playing the Jakiro. Mac will be on the Puck. Warshop will be playing the Lycan, and that is everybody on the side of Poutine King Bar. And you can tell already that these two teams, I mean, they have the same idea, right? They rotate into the enemy's jungle. We have the same thing being done on the other side. It is Venomancer, hardly know her, already in the dire jungle, even though they're Radiant team. We have Pipshape playing the Witch Doctor, Sponge playing the Phantom Assassin, Chris will play the Troll Warlord, Pyrium Flax on the Undying, and last but not least, it is Shane playing the Magnus. And it looks like both teams will just retreat back to their lanes, not able to get a first blood on board, which both teams apparently really were aiming for. So, not successful there, but let's see if they can at least get the block going a bit, because they might be a bit too late for that. Yeah, they are actually too late for that. The lane's starting to take shape. Looks like we're going to have an Ogre Viper lane here on the bottom lane. It looks like the Mons will be rotating top, perhaps to keep his Lycan safe. Will be on the top lane, with Mac soloing up against the Magnus. Oh, that's going to be confusing. Mac, Puck. I'll just call them by their names. Mac against Shane. Wow. Goes well, Shiver. We don't have anybody actually on the bottom lane on the side of Veno, which is a slight problem. Teleport going down to Troll will be taking his residence up there right now. Will be by himself, and they were aiming for him to go up against a difficult lane, and they don't want to have the PA up against that Viper. They want the PA to farm, and it's going to be tough still. But this is an easier lane than up against the Viper, so they're going to go for the aggressive tri-lane. Witch Doctor is on his way as well. Let's see if they can make some kills happen. Undying, waiting for his Tombstone to be up before he can actually make something happen, I think. But I am definitely looking forward to that first aggression coming out from Veno, which I'm expecting to be the team to be going aggressive first. They can harass the Troll away from this lane quite easily, or they should be able to. But at the same time, Troll's not here to be the hard carry. Troll is here to get levels and, you know, get anything he can. If he can get some farm, that's nice for him. But at the same time, he's here to get levels, and he's getting those. If he's just careful, if he's just safe, he should be fine. And he should be just getting his ult up so that he can help the PA when she's farmed up. Because PA should be the one to get the farm going here on the top lane. PA should be the hard carry for Team Veno. For the Puck, in the meantime, he is the one I feel like is going to be the driving force together with the Viper here for Poutine King Bar. As we have the Bounty Rune pinged out already. So Dire has got good rune control, but there's still a double damage rune up on the top lane. And Shane does have an empty bottle, so he'll head over towards that one. But Puck should have a decent lane middle. And the reason I say that is because he is going to be one of the pacemakers together with Viper. They're going to be the ones to determine the pace of the game for the side of PKB and distract the attention away from the Lycan, which is going to be their main goal. So far, Lycan, he knows he can't really get that many last hits, but he can get levels and he can get some farm, so he'll still get something. But things are going to get tricky fairly soon, because there is a level 2 up on the Undying, and yeah, we already know, or Poutine rather already knows, that they indeed need some assistance. So we have Ogre Magi rotating towards the top lane, which actually leaves Troll against a Viper solo, which is not that bad for him, to be honest, especially since he is, no, he's actually at the same experience. I was expecting him to be kind of surpassing the experience a little bit of the Viper, considering that the Ogre also took a level there. But not the case. Still waiting for that first blood, of course, which should be happening, I think, on this top lane. And that's why I'm spending a lot of time there. In the meantime, we have 17 for 2 sitting on the Magnus for Shane, while Puck is sitting 11 for 2. So Puck a little bit behind on last hits, but he is still doing quite solid. He's not really in any risk of dying, which is the main thing, I think, for this Puck. If he is gonna die, in theory, he should only die if there's a rotation from the supports, which actually will help out the Lycan a lot, in which case he's already doing his job. The Howl goes through. We have got maybe a Tombstone coming up. The cast comes. There is a dagger, but with the creep wave coming in as well, it is gonna be Veno that backs off from this top lane.
Dire's top
and
tower
goes back
is
towards
under
farming. They actually pull the entire wave, perhaps. If Poutine overextends here, this is a time for Pyrion to put up his tombstone, but still a bit hesitant and still not gonna do it. Waiting for Poutine to be a little bit more forward, perhaps, and a little bit more out of position, which would be the cue for them to go. The regen rune picked up on the bottle. The bounty rune was on the top lane, and it was Puck that took that one and had the bottle taken. The tombstone is up on the top lane. Pyrion might be in some trouble, but in comes the cask, and that's gonna help him out a lot. Sponge doing the damage, and it's Ogre. Olive Juice, he is gonna be going down first, and it's Pyrion that gets a kill. He tries to deny himself to neutrals, and he did! He did deny himself to neutrals! Not getting a kill there for Poutine today as they get the Lycan out of there. He eats a tree. He's actually thinking about coming back, but the tombstone actually is gone. Puck coming in. Mac jumps forward. They're going for the Witch Doctor. He's gonna be out of mana and he can't heal himself up anymore. He is a goner if he can, unless he can just walk away. He shouldn't be able to walk away. Salve getting picked up. One more hit needed. Two more hits needed. It leaves a lot more hits. This Salve is actually doing the works, and with Jane coming in, they can't chase him. They can't get a kill. And in the meantime, Sponge, what are you doing? Whoa, he might still be in some trouble, but he has got his blur. So he should be fine, especially with Pyrion already standing by him, waiting so he can get away. Otherwise, he could have turned around and bought time for the PA to get away from that one. But it's 1-1, but do not be fooled. It is one kill in favor of Veno, as they were able to deny the Undying to the neutrals. And that was a pretty big anti-juke, but that's the downside of placing the ward right here. That's actually, this is a, of course this is a legit ward for the Dire side. You can see the rune, but at the same time, it is a very careful ward because you cannot like this is a more aggressive ward because you can see way more. As yeah, well, that ward would have changed the whole, would have had a kill if that ward was on the high ground. There would have been a kill. You know what I mean? And so that matters. It's fine. Troll actually went back to base. He's level 6. So he can help his team out now. And you see that he didn't actually use the courier to get his items. He just went to pick them up themselves. That is because this top lane is basically using the courier almost the whole time. As well as bottle crowing to mid, of course, which is probably a more, well, more frequent trip for this courier. But it makes sense that the troll is not using the courier because he's got no priority at all. So it's interesting to note. It's commonly done, but it's still a detail that makes a difference. In comes the stun. Pyrion taking some damage from the neutrals again, but this time should be able to get away. Cask is still bouncing around, and Ogre Magi dies again, but this time the Dream Coil up on 3. Liquid Fire up on 3 as well, and perhaps like it can make a difference. Pyrion goes down first. Can they take more of the zombies? They come in. Take care of the Jakiro, the Lycan as well. It is 3 for 2 in the end with Viper teleporting in to help out. But if Viper wasn't there, that would have been a whole different ball game. And most importantly, this guy right here, Phantom Assassin, has not died yet. Pip is a she. Okay, good to know. Thanks, chat. Do look at chat sometimes. But that was a great fight again for Veno. They did rotate the Viper over, which is good for Viper. I mean, Viper got a kill from that, but at the same time, it's also great for Chris, who's now farming on the bottom lane and is getting some extra experience and last hits that he otherwise would not have gotten because Viper wins over him. It's that simple. So
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Pretty good. Puck, of course, rotating in as well. He didn't die. He has 2 assists. Also, by him going to top lane, that was the second time for him to go top lane. He left the Magnus alone. Magnus, who's got his mana boots, who's got his bottle, and he's working towards his blink dagger. Now, I talked earlier about the Puck being basically the person or the hero that sets the pace for the team of Poutine. Now, Mac is kind of behind, so he is not going to be the one to set the pace for this game. It is more likely going to be Viper on the side of Poutine, and it's going to be Magnus on the side of Veno. Now, the pace is already set for Veno because they've already got a very aggressive trialing going on here, which is working out fine. But I'm talking about, of course, once that Blink Dagger is ready on the Magnus, he'll rotate and he'll try to make something happen. Another Tombstone going up. Pyrion taking a beating, but still continues to go after Olive Juice. Cask bounces around to the creeps, but Olive Juice still the one to die. And that is his 3rd death. Now, you have to take this with a grain of salt, because even though Ogre Magi died 3 times, it's not all bad, because he dies, but at the same time they don't go on a Lycan, and Lycan can actually get some more farms, so not all bad. It is bad if Lycan dies now though, and with Sponge being level 6, the crits can start coming. Teleport in, that is gonna be Ogre back for action. Ogre doesn't have boots, poor guy. Jakiro doesn't have boots. It's one of the biggest problems on an aggressive tri-lane. If you're losing the aggressive tri-lane, you're not just losing on your farm or your carry, but you're also starting to lose levels, and you're starting to get behind on levels. Look at the differences. So the aggressive tri-lane of Veno has got a level 6 on Sponge. They've got a level 5 on the other two, which is pretty important, because level 6 on the Witch Doctor, that will make a gigantic difference. Now on the other side you've got Poutine, who's got level 5 on the hard carry, level 5 on the Lycan, and level 4 on the 2 supports. And that is also a big deal, mostly for Ogre Magi, who really needs his level 6. We have got Veno once again going on the aggressive. Let's see if Poutine can deal with this one. Perhaps they're going to try to rotate the puck in. He has got his ultimate up again, and he has got a teleport scroll available as well. Viper almost got his mechanism done, has got a teleport scroll as well, and could rotate in to see if they can help as well. And I think that's going to be the changer for Poutine. If they want to try and start getting the game on their turf, they have to, like, bait Veno into diving on top lane, bait Veno into going on top lane, and then just kill them all and take a tower off the back of it. And they can do that. They have a Lycan. They push really fast. So if they win a fight top, take a tower off the back of it, this game is completely even again. Even though right now it looks like it's in the hands of Veno, as we do have Troll sitting with phase boots and just 50 or 60 gold away. Oh, wait a second. It is the double damage rune and the blink dagger. I talked about this. This would be the hero that would set the pace for the team of Veno, and he's gonna try a bit of an early skewer there. And he really is desperate to get that. No patience at all, but they're gonna go anyway. They're gonna start off, but it is Puck that jumps in. The silence up on 2. There comes the RP still up on 3. Is there enough damage is the question though. Viper coming in as well, and it is PA that dies. Magnus dies. They still get Ogre, but there's 2 supports for 2 cores. They will get Pyrian as well. And this is a disaster for Veno. They give away so much. They lose Pip as well. They kill 4. They get supports. Only Poutine loses his supports, and this is a gigantic fight for them. And that was just very greedy jump in from Shane there. I promised I would flame him a bit. Actually, I promised I wouldn't. But doesn't matter. They were just a bit impatient. And, well, we knew that they had teleports on Viper and Puck. We knew that those ultimates were up. Mechanism might not have been up yet by the time that the teleport... Look at this difference! He has the recipe and then 1200 gold. Where's that gold graph button? Boom! That's that fight right now. That's what just happened. That's a gigantic difference. I should have clicked on the button that appears up there, but I forgot. But that's an insane difference, guys. And you could consider this game completely open. It is 7-7 in kills. Do remember the deny was happening, but this game is even. And actually, with Shane in trouble in the mid lane, he might be in a lot more trouble than he actually thinks. We have got Puck, but the orb is on cooldown. And of course, he doesn't have a blink yet. So Shane gets out. In the meantime, Ogre decided to get some levels on the bottom lane, which I really like, because he needs those levels. He's one of those heroes that is pretty level dependent with his multicast. So, good on him, and nobody shows up on bottom lane, because Troll, again, Troll is the selfless guy this game. Troll is the guy that walks back to base because he doesn't want to occupy the courier, because other people are occupying the courier instead. So, oh, hello. Are we gonna have a go here? Looks like just harassment for now. We do have Pyrian around there as well. He does have a tombstone, and they could actually try to go for them instead, or at least maybe not for the Lycan, because he can just turn into a wolf right now and run, which is really awesome. That's going to be his saving grace. Wait a second. Hasted Ogre looking for a kill, perhaps. It is the Witch Doctor that he sees. It is nighttime, so the vision is limited. Keep that in mind. And it is indeed Pip that makes her way to the tower safely. In the meantime, Magnus got a solo kill on the Puck, and it looks like it was quite a fight, but we missed that one, unfortunately, because we were looking bottom. My bad. We still have a pretty scary situation here on this mid lane, on this bottom lane, by the way, because Yeah, they're gonna dive. They're gonna look for a stun. Can they find it? Yes, they can. The multicast comes out as well, but the cask is still there. And it's gonna allow Chris to run away from this. And with the creep wave coming in as well, they can't really fight this. They can't dive this, though they really wanted to. You could tell. Are they gonna still do this again? Yeah, they are. I mean, the tower is about to die. They might as well try to get it. They do get it. No deny. And in comes the Viper Strike. Chris, he might be dead before he reaches the Viper. And indeed he is. Now Witch Doctor tries to do what she can. Stands there with her ultimate. Maybe can get a kill on Ogre Juice. But no, can't get that. And that is going to be 2 kills going the way of Poutine. And that is a dominating Viper. He is starting to get completely out of hand right now. He's building towards his Aghanims. And he's actually really close. In the meantime, Sponge left alone. The supports went bottom to help. And Sponge does have the blur, but the Ice Path comes in. Perhaps he can do enough damage. He can jump away soon, though, so he should be fine. He doesn't even try to jump away. Need that MKB, guys. Need that MKB. We have, by the way, got a Vlad's up on that Lycan. That means that Roshan is open for him. Now, the downside of having a Lycan with a Vlad's is that it's quite obvious. Oh, Pyrian, careful. Oh, he's still dead, though. Still dead. But yes, the downside of having a Lycan with the Vlads is that it's quite obvious that he can indeed do Roshan, because everybody knows that he can. Which means that Veno will probably keep a close eye on if Venomancer is missing from the map. And the moment that Venomancer is missing from the map, they'll check and see if there is indeed a
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Roche attempt. Wow, I lost my train of thought there for a second. That's okay. Gives you a bit of a breather, because I know I'm talking a lot right now. Ooh, nice regen room right there. Viper and Ogre still hanging out in Radiant Jungle. You know, it seems that Poutine might not have had that great of a laning stage, but that fight up top, it blew the game open for them completely. Nice Ice Path. And he's buying time for his team. In they come. Maybe Jakiro will still end up going down. No, the stick charges he had. In comes an RP though. Hop on 3. Where's that damage though? The zombies, they do the works. Phantom Assassin, however, still dies due to the Ogre Magi. That was still close by, but they get 2 in return. But it's 2 supports for the core of Veno. And I'm not sure if that's entirely worth it at this point. The kills went to Undying and Magnus. Well, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But it's still, it's not an amazing trade. Let's keep it at that, okay? Can't do that too often, because PA is the one that's supposed to be, you know, dominating on the side of Veno. They don't have... We talked about it, and that was Roshan, by the way. As I talked about, when Lycan is missing, you know that Roshan is attempted, and Lycan was missing, but they chose to dive top instead of getting the Roche attempt. But I talked about this earlier. They had Chris, who wasn't really meant to get any farm. He was just meant to get levels. And he did get levels. He's level 11. He's amazing. Look at that. Second highest level on the map. Awesome. But at the same time, it was PA who was supposed to be getting the farm. And PA was supposed to be getting the items. This is supposed to be the carry of the game. But right now, net worth lower than the Lycan they tried to shut down. Which is the problem. Oh, talking about problems, that courier running away from the wolves should be fine though. Troll should be fine as well. Pretty fast hero, especially with the phase boots. Oh, Puck in some trouble. Has got a phase shift. And with the phase shift done, in comes the force staff from Shane. And he almost gets that kill, but that silence really helps out the Puck. Puck still doesn't have a blink dagger. And actually, nice blink away, because that Viper was looking hungry for a Viper strike. He is just 100 gold away from having an Aghanims. That's really fast. Oh, Jakiro. Poor Jakiro. Quite surprising that he still got cut out, considering they had that ward there. That was a bit unusual. And it should allow for Veno to take the tower. And that would bring the towers even. Oh, this is a troublesome situation for Shane. He's getting chased down. He does have a skewer, but Viper, is he going to try and chase? Nope, he's not. And actually, the troll nets him in. In comes the RP. Shane is going back in. But this is a Viper, and he still has a mechanism. He can't kill him. He'll end up going down. Too greedy. He could have gotten out, got greedy, and ended up dead, unfortunately for him. And with Shane out of the way, they can easily take down this tower fairly fast. They have got the Howl. Actually, the Howl's on cooldown. Yeah, it is. Oh, top lane has got some problems. Where's my camera? There it is. It's gonna be a 2-zone that's up. Nice Macropire Ice Path. Oh my god, Jakiro MVP. But it's not enough. They get the Witch Doctor, they still lose the Ogre. And what is wrong? Why don't I see my cursor? I don't see my cursor, guys. It's a problem.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Let's do
attack.
this then. I can do this. Yeah. Well, we have a farming Lycan in the jungle in the meantime. Still has that Aegis. Has got 1900 gold. No, my cursor is gone, which is really annoying. I know you see my cursor, but I don't see my cursor. Which is really confusing.
Dire's top tower is under
6, 0, and 3. This is Viper.
attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Scary. Tower still goes down on the top lane, which is nice. The towers are even though, or are they? Is it mid tower? The mid tower is gone. So it's yeah, it's 2 and 2 for the towers. Just the off lane towers for each team still standing, which is quite surprising because normally it's always the off lane towers to go first. But courtesy of aggressive fire lane. Shane, pretty far up. Let's take a quick look at the warding going on here because that's actually a really big difference between the teams right now. We have got on the side of Putin King Bar, Roshan warded. Radiant Jungle, warded. And actually the small camp with that as well. Ancients, around Ancients, warded. They have a lot of vision. A fairly aggressive vision as well. There's only one ward up, and now 2 actually. Just got 1 extra placed for Veno. They have got this one, which is a very safe ward, allowing someone to farm safely on the bottom lane, which is really important because that is where the PA is farming right now, and she is indeed the one to get the kill. Wait a second, we have got a fight going on. In comes the Dream Coil, looking for that RP, but it's already used. Never mind, Macropire coming out. Pyrion dead. 2 dead coming in favor of Putin. They're still chasing. Shane gets the blink off just in time, but is it enough? Chris tries to slow them down, but this wolf is unslowable. He's going for this, pops out the mini wolves, goes for Shane, leaves Sponge to be because he knows, or maybe he doesn't know. The stun comes out. Sponge jumps away with the W, and they're not gonna chase that. I was thinking maybe they shouldn't go on the PA. I thought that was a conscious decision because PA can just either jump away or she evades things, and that's annoying. But they still went for her. Got her pretty low,
Dire's
which is
top
nice.
tower is under attack.
But in the meantime, they did kill off 2 supports, and they do lead an attack on bottom lane. They still have that Aegis, 2300 gold in the inventory of Lycan. I wonder what he's gonna go for, and I really wish I could see my mouse. My camera work is a bit bad, and they're actually gonna go for this. Or are they? Shane, look at him go. He's going from behind, really wants to get that RP going, but it's nighttime. Goes, and would have 2 if he catches them now. He only has 1. No, he doesn't have an RP anyways. Doesn't matter. They get the Ogre. That's nice. Lycan teleporting out, and looks like Viper is not going to be sticking around either. So they get 1. The Skewer only caught 1, and that's going to be the end of it. 15 to 15 is the kill score. The net worth graph is actually at 0. Experience slightly in favor of Putin. That's how I feel it to be, and that's how you should feel it to be too, because they just have, at this point, the better control of the map. Ah, my cursor is back, guys. Rejoice. Anyways, Phantom Assassin. Is she gonna do well enough this game? I wonder. It's a Phantom Assassin. We all know what they can do. It's pretty scary. Let's take a quick look at the rest of the items. 3 sets of mana boots on the side of Veno. Which might just be 1 mana boot too many. I mean, they don't really have a mana burn-ish thing, so I'm kind of surprised by that. But nonetheless, better too many than not enough. Viper's still very farmed. I mean, I talked about Lycan being the carry of the team for Putin. I take it back. That's Viper? Oh, he's so scary.
Radiant's middle tower
Yes.
is under attack.
I will start calling them PKB. Thank you. 420. Sorry if I offended anybody, if I sounded like I was saying Putin instead of Putin. It's Putin. It's Putin King Bar. But it's PKB. Jump forward. Viper. RP up on 2. But in comes Puck with the silence. Witch Doctor ultimate coming in as well, though. And can they do enough damage? It looks like they get another Skewer coming out. Skewer ending away from the Witch Doctor ultimate. Viper finally ends up going down. Lycan trying to run from this. PA not going to be able to chase that. The pipe goes up still. A bit late. Doesn't matter. Pipe is still up. And they can still take the tower as well. They got 3. They didn't lose a single one. And Veno is back in this game by the looks of things. Well played indeed. Good RP. And despite the counter initiation, it was a great counter initiation by that puck, by the way. It was awesome. But not enough, unfortunately.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Troll ultimate helping out. Troll, by the way, is not in this fight.
Fortified.
Troll's doing things top. Now, we know that he sacrificed his farm to get experience and to be dealing with the Viper and all that. But he is getting farm, and he's going to be very scary soon, too.
Dire's bottom tower
And that's going to be 2 towers in one fight.
has fallen.
And that's going to be showing a pretty big spike in the experience graph. Yeah. So that is going the way of Veno. Now, that Viper is still pretty tanky, don't get me wrong. I lost quite a bit of gold, sitting on 2.1k gold still. And I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to go for. Typically, I'd expect to see something like either a Manta or a Heart, depending on what type of Viper he wants to be. Is he going to be there to stay alive as long as possible, or is he going to be there to try and do as much damage as he can? Is he going to be turning into more of a hard carry? Which is the Manta style for me. So he could already build a Yasha if he wants to. Or he could just wait until he has the Reaper for his heart. I think I would prefer the heart, to be honest, in this game. Because if you can just tank the damage from the PA for a little while, Lycan should be able to do enough damage during the fight to deal with him. And actually Viper deals quite a lot of damage as well. Throwing out the ultimate and everything all the time. Yeah. The warning from Veno got a little bit more aggressive. Now that one's still standing. Oh, Drink Coil, Shane, problems. Still silenced. Tries to get away, but in comes the Ice Path. Can't do it. Viper though, whoa, he found himself an Undying, but he has to be careful because he doesn't want to really run through the Tombstone. The only one that can do that is indeed the Lycan. Oh, that cask! The Witch Doctor Ultimate Lycan still runs away, but Viper might not be so lucky. He's not that fast. In comes another brilliant Ice Path coming off from the Monk. Is it enough? A Decay coming out, Pyrian in the middle of PKB, but he doesn't care. Sponge jumping forward, getting a crit in the Lycan, who's no longer in wolf form, tries to get out, and he disappears up to the higher ground. Viper, bought back, goes for a Sponge, gets a Viper Strike off. Is it gonna be enough? Viper Strike? Not enough, because a PA just jumps away. Pyrian teleporting out behind the trees, and the rest of Veno trying to run. They lost the Magnus, but that's all they lost. Unfortunately, they couldn't get anything in return apart from the Viper, which is actually a pretty big deal since he bought back. If he didn't buy back, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but he bought back. And that's important. And actually, the Courier ended up dead as well. Looks like they were trying to maybe get a smoke up around here, but that was yeah, a bit of a wrong time, and to have the Courier hanging around right there. That's for sure. Roshan not going to the Dire team, or is it? Because Viper knows that this is happening. Everybody of PKB is here. Puck might be jumping in. Orb jumping forward. Roshan dying pretty fast. Viper Strike already up on Pyrian. Pyrian does have a Tombstone. Goes for his ultimate. Puts a Tombstone up the Ice Path. Hits upon 2. Lycan coming in as well in wolf form. Shane looking for that RP, but he gets stunned up. He can't do anything. The Witch Doctor ultimate forcing that Lycan away from the fight. Chris trying to do what he can as Jakiro will fall in the midst of all of this as well. Viper still very tanky. He already used his mechanism, and he already used his buyback, so he can't afford to die right now. And Olive Juice tries to stop it from happening, but it's not going to be enough. Sponge still ends up going down, though, with the Viper damage going through. It is Ogre Magi that lives. Lycan, we saw him running away from the fight. Roshan still lives, by the way, as well. And with 2 teams both still having 2 heroes left alive, nobody really has the juice to take out the Roshan. Are they gonna try, though? No, they're just gonna guard it, I would assume, because they can't really... Nope. They can't really try right now. They should be able to see this ward, but they don't have any vision of themselves, which is not good, guys. Always have vision of the roast pit if you have the option. Or if you place a sentry, you go up here so that you can see that ward and kill it. Which they will soon... No, now they will. Someone will see it now, though. Shane saw it. But the ward's about to disappear, so they can't see it anymore. Oh, it just disappeared. Look at that. Funny. Wasn't that funny? I know. Okay, guys. It's round 2 for the Battle of Roshan. Who will be victorious? The Dire, the Radiant. Stay tuned to find out. It's the Radiant, but Puck still jumps in with the Dream Coil. Ice Path only catches on Sponge. Everybody tries to run away from the Dream Coil, and that actually buys some momentum. But the RP still hits up on 2. They lose the Puck, they lose the Ogre, and Lycan runs away once again. The Macropyre tries to do what he can. Dual Breath as well. The Aegis gets burned. Jakiro trying to run from it, but can't. He won't be able to, and it's the Viper that is the last one in that pit, and he'll end up going down. Lycan, he already is long gone, or is he? Actually, he's not long gone. He might still be in trouble, because there's still vision. The dagger does not crit. The teleport out is not gonna happen. It's Sponge that gets the kill. It is, and I quote, a full 5-man team wipe, or, in other words, they're all dead! Okay, that didn't come out as I wanted it to, but you know what I meant. I always wanted to say that. Like that, in momentum. It almost happened. Pretty good fight, though, for a Veno. With no buyback up on the Viper. They can easily take this tier 2 tower. I don't think they can take more. No tier 3 tower, but they have bought a lot of momentum for their team. Perhaps can even rotate towards top lane to get the tier 2 there. Maybe. Ogre. Pretty close towards that Aghanims. Just needs about 1200 gold. It looks like Jakiro will want to have... Is he really? The Crimson Guard? I'm not expecting Jakiro to be Crimson Guard type hero, but... Well, they already have a mech, which is why I say Crimson Guard for him. Ogre standing around. Just gonna throw out some fire. Throw out some flames. RP up again in 11 seconds. 3,500 gold, by the way, up on the Magnus. As, I do like that he built the Vlads for his team. Even though both PA as well as Troll have a Helm of the Dominator. But the extra armor definitely makes a difference, because that Lycan just does physical damage. That's all they have to worry about. And they have to be careful here. Can't afford to lose another fight. On the bright side, nice multicast. Shane looking for a target. Puck is there as well, and he gets stuck in RP as well. Both heroes already dead. Witch Doctor Ultimate tries to do what he can. Nice Macropyre and Ice Path, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Jakiro already crit to death, and it's gonna be Lycan that tries to get Pyrion here, but he gets critted, and he has to try to get away, but he can't. Ogre, only one surviving soul. Walks back, or rather teleports back to base, so while his tier 2 tower will get chopped to pieces by everybody of Team Veno, who is gonna get healed up again by the heals of Pip Shape. Also pretty close towards an Aghanims. 300 gold more, and Aghanims is there. That's gonna be... Actually, I think that's gonna be at least a tier 3, and they could go for Rax. The thing is, if PKB are trying to fight right now... They'll lose more than just one set of racks. But they might lose more than one set of racks anyways. They have 19 seconds without Viper, and we already know he doesn't have buyback because it's on cooldown. 40 seconds until he can buy back the next fight. Oh, Shane trying to catch someone. Puck actually jumped forward anyways, and he might be in some trouble. He gets the silence off, but it doesn't really stop 3A from hitting him, does it? Now Tombstone going up. He's forcing everybody of PKB down. If PKB loses this fight, this is over for them. Oh, what a brilliant Ice Path. Hits up on 3. That's gonna be 2 sets of Rex down with 1 fight, and it's gonna be Team Veno backing off. Looks like Team Veno is on the way of making a start to get their revenge from getting knocked down to the lower bracket. Of course, we are watching the lower bracket finals of the Rektreational. Rektreational. It's really difficult to pronounce. And it's a best of 3. And Team Veno is the team that got knocked down to the lower bracket to begin with by PKB. So that's gonna be the ultimate revenge if they can actually win this best of 3. So far, let's just stick to 1 game. So far, they're on the right path to win this 1 game, though, because this gold graph is not telling any lies. And it has been going steadily up in favor of Veno. I hardly knew her. Experience graph will say the same thing. Maybe not as high numbers, but still very decent, and then levels actually comes down to not having a level 15, rather level 3 ultimate, so level 16 up for Puck, nor for Lycan. Of course Ogre Magi important as well, but for those two cores, it's important as well, especially for that Lycan there, who really needs that wall form every fight if he can. So that lower cooldown is... it's important. Double damage rune, that is a game changer right there. Might be the game changer that Veno needs, might be the game changer that PKB was aiming for, if they can, but it's PA that gets it, and that means that this Viper is soon to be very sad if he sticks around. Oh, Puck! Careful there, buddy, careful there. Now, I was praising their wards earlier on. But right now they don't have any wards up. So this is the vision of the Dire team right now. And yes, that's not that much vision. They can't really see anything because they don't have any wards up. Vision of the Radiant team, everybody's vision. In comes the Macropire, already at the back of the fight. Sponge is trying to get some kills there, looking for the crits. As BKB is on the Basher, helps, the crits comes, and that is the Cask jumping around RP, just in case it wasn't clear just yet, but they have probably won this game. The GG comes out, and it is a Venomancer, I hardly know her, that comes out on top of this game 1 of the best of 3 for the lower bracket finals of the Recreational. Stay tuned for the second game. We're going to be having that fairly shortly after this one. And that's going to be the chance for PKB to force out a third game. Or it is going to be Veno, I hardly know her, to secure their place in the grand finals against Pit Lord Meta, which is the team that's already waiting in the grand finals of the tournament. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.